Hey there, and welcome back to Sweat Media at the convergence of AI and Web3. Here we are in the midst of the Deepseek negative narrative extravaganza as predicted. I predicted in our last video that there would be a blizzard of negative narrative spun up against Deepseek, not least of which because it's a Chinese run company. It's now most likely very much within the clutches of the CCP. However, I have no way to verify something like that. And now we have to deal with Deepseek apparently having a security breach that compromised the chat history and login credentials of I don't know how many people. I don't know. I don't have an exact number, and I don't think anyone does. But it says 1 million records that have been reportedly leaked from Tech Radar. I don't know what a million records means, if that means a million prompts and a million prompts, login credentials, and APIs or what. But that's what it says here. It says worrying DeepSeek vulnerability apparently found. And you will be happy to know that there are now other AI companies that are clapping back, namely Venice AI, at the fact that there is a lack of security or an apparent lack of security, a lack of focus on security at DeepSeek. You have to understand that anytime you use the internet and you have login credentials, there's a chance that they can be harvested somehow, whether directly through the website or through other vulnerabilities on your system. So this isn't unique to DeepSeek, and it's not going to be the last time that an AI program is compromised in this way, most likely. But it is troubling to know that this DeepSeek came out with such a bang, and now right away it's having these security issues. So what actually happened here? The database allowed for total operation control takeover. So it wasn't just that your chat history and other stuff that you've done with the chatbot has been leaked. It was the attackers who took that data then could control and manipulate what the system was saying to you. So it wouldn't be AI generated responses. It might be stuff that they wanted it to say to you in response to your prompts. That's very, very dangerous. If something like this were to happen, to give you an idea, if something like this were to happen undetected for any amount of time at a while using a system like a ChatGPT that might be utilized in government programs or other major company programs for any amount of time, again, undetected, it could lead to serious losses of market share, of valuable private data, especially if there are integrations with something like a ChatGPT Pro or a Llama or a Gemini at a major bank, government, or institutional operation. It could be a serious, serious problem. And if DeepSeek is revealing that there could be things like this taking place at it and other AI companies, then we might have a real reckoning to deal with here. So it says the database has been secured. That's good. But the researcher, it was Wiz Cybersecurity. The researchers warn it could have exposed chat history, secret keys, backend details, log streams, API secrets, and operational details. Now, let me say, if you're using a chatbot to store or help you work with your cryptocurrency or any of the APIs that you're using right now, if you're giving it your API secret key, if you're giving it private keys or seed phrases or passwords and login credentials for any other site, I mean, best of luck to you. Not to say that it's okay for DeepSeek to be giving that information away, but it is incumbent on you as the user to protect your own data. And you can do that by not sharing. Maybe don't share that private data with a chatbot that you don't know anything about. But I digress. So it says, if abused, the database could be exploited to access plain text passwords. They store the passwords in plain text? Okay, interesting. Chat histories. Okay, so we know what could have happened. Now, what does this mean for the industry? We know that DeepSeek made a huge splash last week about its comparable performance to other major leading AI systems like ChatGPT, that's OpenAI, or Llama and Gemini from Google, from Meta, at a cost of about $5.5 to $6 million. That's what Deepseek says it cost them to do it. Compare that to OpenAI, they needed $6 billion in investments to get their system going. Now, Venice Chat, this is a Venice AI. This is a chatbot it focuses on privacy and decentralization of data. This program, the people who run it have clapped back, namely Eric Voorhees, who's a crypto OG. He's been around a very long time. He's taking aim at Deepseek. He sees that Deepseek has turned belly, and he's taking a swing at them. So what is Venice? This is kind of how it works. I asked it a little bit ago, what happened with the Deepseek privacy breach? It gave me an explanation. It seemed fairly unbiased, just a rundown of what actually happened. Unlike their social media accounts, which are definitely not biased. It even gives citations, which I really appreciate as someone who thinks that that's lacking in the types of responses that are generated by other AI systems. But it doesn't take a login. You don't have to log in. You don't have to use your Gmail to log in, which I think is a major bottleneck for ChatGPT. And also, even though I'm using a VPN right now, I don't need to go through a verification process. I don't need to do a CAPTCHA or anything like that, because the URL, the basically the website lets you access from anywhere, even if you're using a VPN. Compare that to other AI programs where I have to do CAPTCHAs sometimes more than once and log in with Gmail, which is cumbersome and not very convenient. So good on them. But again, the point of this is to look at the negative narratives that are being spun up about Deepseek AI. And bear in mind, I don't have any stake in Deepseek. I don't really care. I just think that it's pretty predictable that this was going to happen. So Venice, they say private and uncensored AI, and I can attest to that to some degree. That it's private. It's based off of the Morpheus blockchain, which is a decentralized, privacy-based network. There's a lot of AI applications and privacy-based applications that are being built there. You should check it out. If you're interested in stuff like that, they're more than happy to have other developers building apps there. And Venice just launched their VVV token. So in addition to this PR dream that came from Deepseek having this hiccup, and that in the long term of things with Deepseek, that's all this is going to be, a blip. It'll be a hiccup. They're doing a token launch. So they're taking advantage of this with more PR that's going to advance them. So Deepseek has this privacy breach. Venice is a privacy-based application that doesn't take your credentials. It doesn't store your information anywhere. It's all incumbent on you to be in control of your own data, which makes perfect sense to me. So they launched a token. So they're trying to pump their numbers up with this token launch by taking advantage of Deepseek's hiccup. No one values the privacy more than when it's breached, which is true, to be fair. That is true. Eric Voorhees, they're reposting Eric Voorhees, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was Eric actually typing out Venice's tweets and then he sent it to the intern or whatever and they put it up here. So he's basically tweeting from two accounts at the same time. Only way to offer actual privacy is to never have or store the user's data in the first place. True. Google knows everything about you. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's the matter of the fact. Deepseek now knows much more about you. OpenAI knows much more about you than you probably would like it to. But you give it all this information. We'll take another look here at one of Venice's tweets. The only way to offer actual privacy, never have or store. I think we went over that one already. It's also worth mentioning that there are many current limitations with AI info that prevent full privacy at scale. Unless you fully run your own models locally, there will be some privacy trade-offs and inherent required trust when using a hosted service instead. And that is true. When you use a hosted service, basically a third party, to come and help you with something, you are relying on them. There's a full reliance on that other third party to give you privacy, to keep your data secure, and to basically run, to keep whatever you're trying to do up. What else has Eric Voorhees said? So he's directly targeting Deepseek here. Obviously, Deepseek is heavily censored by Chinese policy. May or may not be true. I don't know. But in Venice, you can craft your own system prompts, which gives you substantial control over the models. The default system prompt in Venice doesn't get this answer, but one of our staff got it with his own custom one. What did they say? Why did Xi Jinping ban Winnie the Pooh? So this is something you probably can't talk about on Deepseek. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but Winnie the Pooh is a taboo subject in China. Yeah, chances are you can't ask this question on Deepseek and not get either a non-response or it just glitches out. Okay, they're making some good points here about privacy and bias in Deepseek, and it doesn't apply just to Deepseek. We've seen it with Gemini when Google started doing image generation, and you asked, some people said that they prompted it to make images of the founding fathers of the United States, and they were all black. Like, that just doesn't make any sense at all. Like George Washington and Ben Franklin were black. Now, what information do the other AI programs like ChatGPT, what do they take from you? We know now that DeepSeek holds your login credentials. We know that it's going to store your API keys, your secret keys, if you're going to use an API to use it. We know it's going to store your chat history. All of that stuff was leaked. Because it was leaked, we know that that's the data that is being stored within the system locally. What does ChatGPT get from you? So happy you asked. I looked this up too, and I'm not surprised by this at all. What data does ChatGPT collect about me, meaning you? We'll save all the conversations you have with it. So just like DeepSeek, it's going to save all the conversations. Why does it save the conversations? There's a reason here. We may use, in the TNCs, it says, we may use content such as prompts, responses, uploaded images, and generated images to improve our services. The company will store your data as long as your account is open. So not only are they storing it, they're using your prompts and the outputs for later use. It's scraping your data. ChatGPT is scraping the data that it generates and that you give to it to make future outputs better. So let's say Jimmy asks about, what is this thing growing on my foot? And then a month later, Johnny asks, what is this thing growing on my foot? And the images that it shares with ChatGPT are the same. ChatGPT will have that data about Johnny's, or whoever the first guy, I forgot my analogy already, but it'll have that image stored from before. They have the same sort of thing growing on their foot. So the later output that it can give to the second guy will be much better. It'll be a better informed output, most likely, because it has seen something like that before from other prompts. Now, I think ChatGPT, like the free version, won't work like that, but others that are able to scrape data and update can do something like that. Can definitely improve based on your inputs. What else does it keep about you? Geolocation data, network activity information. That means what sites have you seen, your IP address, your MAC ID likely on your device, commercial information, transaction history about what you've spent and what you've done, either on that browser, which is really scary, or within ChatGPT itself. Identifiers, like your contact details, device and browser cookies. So if you're, the cookies on your browser, it could be either just within ChatGPT or it could be all the cookies stored. So if you're not using a browser, like an in-private browser, or if you're not using something like Brave, which is going to in some part shield other websites from each other, from the cookies that are within the browser itself, it's going to expose that data to ChatGPT. And your log data, IP addresses, as mentioned before. All that stuff ChatGPT is already getting from you. So if you have a problem with DeepSeek leaking this stuff, you really are, you're going to sound really, really hypocritical if there's a breach at OpenAI. Just a warning that this is happening now. Now, you can use a VPN to mask some of the data that it shares or that it collects from you, but only so much. Like I said, you need to log in with like a Gmail account. You need to log in with an email. That email is going to have identifiers for you. It's going to know who you are. Network activity information. Why does it need to know that? I have no idea. I'm not the person making this thing. I don't know why realistically it needs it. I mean, we know that your data is extremely valuable. Social media has proven that. But why does ChatGPT need it? I have no idea. Why does DeepSeek need it? I have no idea. Those are questions that you should be asking and trying to answer for yourself about how much you want to give to them. So in light of all of this, and one more thing. Gemini definitely knows everything about you because it's going to be linked to your Google account on your Android phone, linked to your Gmail account, and whenever you're using it on your PC. So Venice has been taking swing at Deepseek because of their privacy issues. They're also doing a token launch. Let's look at this token. It just launched a couple days ago. Looks like it went up, and now, that's a lot of selling. Well, good for them. They got almost 700 million market cap. Price of VVV token. Let's see, $5.6. Not bad. There's probably a lot of selling going on right now. That's why it looks like that, the chart. But yeah, this is a perfect PR situation for Venice AI. They can't leak your data because they don't collect it. So this is just to illustrate to you that there may be more convenient things, convenient AI programs that you can use for your chatbot uses. But there are risks that are involved with them, just like anything. Usually online, the more convenient something is, comes at a cost, and that cost is usually your private data. I would recommend you take a look at Deepseek, take a look at Venice and Morpheus, see which one you like more. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for more of those negative narratives that are going to come out about Deepseek. I'll be sure to cover them. This won't be the last one, and thanks for joining.